What is one thing you absolutely don't mind spending money on? Quality bed sheets. In college, I slept on some of the cheapest, ugliest sheets for years. They were awful, and as soon as I got a place of my own, I still gladly paid a little extra for better sheets. Even though I was mostly broke at the time, there are just some things you can't put a price on. Similarly, towels. The good super thick towels, once you try them, you won't want to go back. Completely dry with just a quick once over, without scrubbing all over trying to get to dry. Bonus points if it's wide enough that you cover yourself easily. So much better than drying off with some cheap thing that hardly absorbs the water. Strong bin liners bags. Life is better when the thing that holds your decomposing waste is strong enough not to break under its own weight. I just bought trash bags yesterday and was thinking the same thing. There's probably no generic trash bag that's worth it, except the Costco Kirkland ones. There is this girl in this village I live at that makes some of the best homemade bread. I always buy it when she makes it. I'd love to live somewhere where you can buy stuff from your neighbors. I live in a terrible city and don't even look at the people around me, who are terrible as well. Good shoes. My entire youth was plagued with money deficiencies that ended up with me having crap shoes due to my ignorance, and feet with calluses. I didn't realize my feet were a little wider than usual and some shoes really weren't good for me. I now look back at the last 12 years and realize that since I got to know my needs better, and chose to buy better quality shoes, quality versus quantity, I have literally ended up shoes that are over 12 years old sitting beside shoes that are 2 years old. Good shoes last a long bloody time. Your tastes might change over time, so make sure to give them a good polish before deciding to give the old ones away. Stuff that saves me time. Parent with a busy job and a young child, I get roughly 4 hours a week to practice my hobbies. I recognize that this is still more than a lot of other people and I'm grateful for it. I'll happily spend more on good equipment, within reason, to make sure I can get the most out of this time rather than work with something that kinda works and end up frustrated. People don't realize time is money, but money is not time is woefully incorrect. Money can buy you loads of time. Delivery is a good example. It costs more but saves you time. Concierge services, VIP seating packages, express lanes, all things that can save you time and make life easier for you but cost more. The wrong gas price. I just stopped caring when driving. Even when gas gets expensive, I just pull over to where it's convenient. I decided I'd rather pay a few bucks for the convenience of not caring or stressing about how to shave off a few cents per gallon. 100% cotton shirts and bed sheets. Shirts. I found some shirts for $1, didn't last. Found some for $14, okay, maybe lasted 3ish years. Got some for $26 and $54, they both lasted more than 7ish years and still really soft. Bed sheets. Bought some for $15, they were okay, finally got some for $56 and they are wonderful. I'm saving to buy some for $100. We'll see. Ross is a good place to pick up good cotton sheets for less. A house cleaner. My partner and I are not rich by any means, but I always budget for our house cleaner to come once every 2 weeks. While I can keep up with basic tidying, the house cleaner does the tasks that I used to spend hours on the weekend doing, washing floors, the tub etc. Having that time back is 100% worth the cost to me. Can't believe I had to scroll down this far to find this answer. I couldn't agree more. I would sacrifice a lot of things to continue to be able to afford a cleaning person. The amount of free time I gain back plus the amount of housework related anxiety it relieves is unreal. After mortgage, utilities, and essentials, our cleaning person is the best money we spend every month. Hands down. Tires. I've had my fair share of almost bald cheap Walmart tires. Trust me when I say a good set of tires is worth every penny. Yes. Especially if you ride a motorcycle, you should never buy the cheapest ones. You can't imagine the times I've been saved, both me and my bike, just by having good tires. Anything that makes the people surrounding me smile. Seeing them happy makes me happy. Win-win. And beer. Beer is good. Gut beer, yes. Beer with peers is where it's at. Shoes. The vast majority of people don't recognize how much the right, or wrong, kind of shoe can have an impact on your body. such as joint or back pain. I broke my foot in 2019 from playing rugby and most likely poor shoe choice, and now it's a permanent disability. The right shoes for me are always worth it. A car that is in decent shape and is also fun. I grew up watching my dad go from one cheap piece of junk to another because he said he saved so much money that way. The thing is, he really didn't. He'd save a little bit of money up front by going for the cheaper car, but they would always have problems that cost an arm and a leg to fix. Not only that, but they wouldn't last as long, so he'd have to buy a new piece of junk not too long afterwards. Me? I will happily spend more money for a mechanically sound car that is known for having good reliability. I may pay more up front, but I save so much more long term that it's worth it. Also, always buy a car that you think is fun. That way, no matter how much work may suck, at least you know you get to have fun driving there and you'll get to have something to look forward to at the end of the day. I picked that nugget up from an older guy I worked with and have only bought fun cars since. Food banks. Whatever you give is worth far more to the people who receive it. You are feeding people and often their kids too. Just gonna piggyback off of this and say, never buy food to give to a food bank. Donate the money directly to them instead. Food banks have the connections and resources to make that money go significantly further than you can, which means more people end up being fed. I wasn't too sure about Spotify at first, since I was used to just lugging around MP3s loaded onto my phone. But man, has this been worth every penny so far. That is true. Spotify, YT Premium, Netflix seemed kind of useless at first, but once you get hooked, there's no going back. Music equipment. I'm on disability, so I don't have a lot of money to work with, but I'll save for a year and buy a $1,200 guitar over going out and buying a $300 guitar next month. The sound quality cannot be compared, and it's gotten to a point where expensive doesn't sound better. It's how it's supposed to sound, and cheap just sounds bad. PC hardware has become similar for me. SSDs don't feel faster than HDDs. HDDs feel slower than SSDs. I no longer feel like I'm using a fast PC with a fancy CPU and GPU. 32GB of RAM doesn't seem fast to me anymore. It feels like the baseline. I know people are still using 8GB and 16GB, but that just feels bad. I guess if I didn't need the power for video editing and 3D modeling, I might not think this way, but once you experience real PC power, you become used to it, and anything longer than a 10-second boot time just feels like an eternity. Gym membership at expensive, boutique type gym. It's the only place that has made me actually work out consistently for over 2 years. It's changed my life, made me super healthy and happy and strong. I would pay twice what I currently pay if I had to, and I'm lucky to be able to afford it. See, it's so funny, because I get this, but I love my inner city Rocky style gym. It's never warm enough, which is good because I have asthma triggered by overheating. They have these old blasting portable fans, and no background music, so I don't have to crank my headphones. I love my cheap mom and pop gym. Books. Physical books, ebooks, whatever suits at the time, but I'll keep buying books. To be read pile keeps growing. I'm rereading old stuff and still finding good new stuff to buy. I like to sing. Every Wednesday night a professional acoustic guitar player comes to my house to play for me, and I sing for an hour. Pure joy. I love spending money on my wife. She could find the fountain of youth and would hesitate to spend the money to visit if it wasn't in the budget. She constantly goes out of her way for me, so I'm happy to buy her things. Books, but they have to be books I'll actually learn something from. Whether it's about science, self-development, nature, I just have to be learning things from them. If I don't, then it's a waste of money to me. Books. Never ever regretted buying a book. Also, surprises for others. Every time the look on their faces is worth more than anything you can spend. The correct tool for the job, so I can save time, sanity, and completing a job to spend more time with loved ones. They don't need the money, they just want me to be available to spend time with them. Example, buying some crappy hole saw set from Harbor Freight versus getting a proper Owen set. Trying to use a hacksaw when an oscillating multi-tool is the correct tool. Hotels. Paying hundreds more for a luxury hotel is silly, but I'll pay $50 or so more for what I know to be a reliable brand. If I'm on a trip, I probably don't have the patience or energy to deal with half-assed service or dirty rooms, and I'll be happy to pay a little more for a nice place. The trick is finding something in that sweet spot that's nice but also serves a good free breakfast. Something like DoubleTree or Embassy Suites. Definitely my little sister. We just reconnected this past year after she got out of a very isolating abusive relationship. She's still working to get on her feet, busting her butt to afford to go to school and not receiving any help from our parents. I was very lucky to have their assistance at her age since I went directly to college after high school. I don't make much as I'm still a student, but I do what I can so she can pursue a promising future. I absolutely admire her perseverance. Can't wait to see her find stability and success. A good pair of shoes. As someone who mostly walks everywhere, investing in one pair of sturdy, comfortable shoes is better than getting a couple of cheaper but lower quality ones. Food. I was super poor all through university, and I told myself that when I was done I wouldn't have to look at the prices on food if I didn't want to. I kept that promise to myself. Real butter. I grew up on the fake crap. Once I became an adult and realized how much better real butter is, I've never gone back. Anything my cats want or need. A new bed? Absolutely. Top quality food? Yes. Monthly trips to the vet? A room just for you? Grooming services? Anything. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.